H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And we got great day today, Tuesday. We got special guests today. Jimmy will be in the screen shortly. Let me fix a little. Let me get a little housekeeping going on over here on the side. Yeah, got a little housekeeping going on. But first of all, let me announce who are my starting five today. Our starting five today, and we affectionately call the starting five the first five people to sign up or log on to the Facebook page and the YouTube page. And our starting five today is Mindy Collins, Rod Wells, Rick Brown, Sonia Billingsley, and Chris Charles. And our sixth person of the day that happens to be a woman is Anissa, the real deal Ville, is in the building. What's up, everybody? I'm waiting on Jimmy. Well, you know, before he come on, I did want to share something with y'all. I wanted to make sure my Facebook, here it is. This my feed was up, all my feeds going so I can see. What's up, Dr. Newsom, Kendrick Lewis, Kim Jackson, my niece is in the building. The real Kim Jackson. You know, the real Kim Jackson. What's up, Todd Holmes? What's up, everybody? I just wanted to share something with y'all. First of all, today, happy birthday to Kamala Harris. Yes, happy birthday to Kamala Harris. And let's see a couple more things. Kamala Harris. And we got breaking news. Tua Tagovailoa, he's going to be the starter for the Miami Dolphins. But do me a favor while you're here. Do me a favor. Tell somebody. I want you to tag somebody. Tell somebody and text somebody that we are on live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, text, tag, tell somebody. But I wanted to ask y'all a question. Did y'all feel? I was talking about some people over the last few days, and they was just asking me about giving up. Is giving up food easier than giving up social media? You know, for many of us, ladies and gentlemen, giving up food is easier than giving up social media. And it kind of troubled me a little bit because I saw something. I saw it on Netflix the other night. Let me just walk you through it. The intellectual indigestion of the internet has become even a little bit more nauseating after I, the other night, consumed this documentary on Netflix called Social Dilemma. I wonder if any of y'all seen it. It's called Social Dilemma. You know, like 2000 has been one of the longest years of our lives. Yeah, Barry McDonald, but it's an Social Dilemma. It's an expose of the diabolical methods that technology companies are employing. Not social distancing. Sonia, got to listen a little clear. Social dilemma. Social distances is something you play around with some kids. Social dilemma. It's real serious business. Check this out. It's an expose on the diabolical methods of technology companies that they're employing to adapt the human psychosis in order to dictate our behavior. What's up, Tyandra Holmes? What's up, Joseph Baldridge? We have apps that have been methodically integrated into our everyday lives, and we don't even realize it. Think about this. Uber is orchestrated to take you to the office, as well as bring us food to our door. Twitter sends us news at warp speed, okay? And people's opinions at a record time. Yes, it's on Netflix. It's called Social Dilemma. Social Dilemma. It's key to go watch it. Twitter, like I said, Facebook, what we on now, and YouTube. Facebook is an electronic, that's what I call it. It's an electronic lost and found. for discovering people from your past and meeting people that might be a part of your future. Instagram has long-term impacts. Snapchat is causing Congress to talk. Just showing you the power. You got to check it out, Mindy. Let me push this button because I'll get my time. What's up, Michael Smith? Even when I'm talking right now, I just been talking, the average person has already looked at their phones twice, even with no notification. The documentary is probably one of the most important, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I had to share it with y'all, for this generation. It's a scathing indictment on the industry. I'm talking about this tech industry, laying out more damage to our minds, check this out, than the opioid and the crack epidemic combined. Wow. Jeremy says a must watch. Let me tell you something. In the film, y'all, we are introduced to this gentleman named Justin Rosenstein, whatever one. Justin Rosenstein is the inventor of the Facebook's ubiquitous feature, which is what? The like button, the thing that we tell you to hit. Justin Rosenstein invented that. Okay? Check this out now. The like button was originally crafted to spread positivity. I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up today. What's up, Kenneth Lawson? Check this out now. To signal friends and family that you appreciated what they posted. Okay? All right. It was a lever of affirmation. Kenneth Lawson, we're talking about social media right now. Okay? What they did not count on at inception was how it would have an adverse impact on people. Here it is now. Who were not getting likes. I need to repeat that one because I know we missed that one. Kevin Freedman, check this out. What Facebook did not count on at its inception was on how that like button would have adverse impact on people who were not getting likes. It was okay for the people who was getting likes, but the people. So people started, a lot of people started amending or changing their behavior just so they can get more likes. Y'all follow me here. Follow me. What's up, Chuck McGowan? I'm glad you got your shirt, baby. Y'all follow me here now. Check this out. Hey, Tracy Greenwood. The first wave up to the crash on the shores of insecurity was teenagers. Come on, Barry. I mean, I'm doing this for y'all. It was teenagers. All of us remember when we was in that awkward space when we was in the 8th grade, and our greatest anxiety was about whether we just gonna be asked to dance or to the dance. That's the only thing we had to worry about. Then as a sophomore, you attempted to define your circle, and you were sitting in the cafeteria. That's the kind of pressure we had back then. No. Now it's the pressure these kids have of being liked. That has led, in this social media age, to a spike, mamas and daddies, in anxiety, depression, self-harm, and suicide. They're serious. There's even a new term in Gen Z called Snapchat, hope I pronounce it right, dysmorphia. Google it. Snapchat dysmorphia. It's a new term. Snapchat dysmorphia, let me help you out. It is for those who are having, these kids or people are having plastic surgery so they can emulate the filters, images of what they see on Snapchat. Them filters and all of that stuff. They having plastic surgery, mamas and daddies, to mimic that. People are waiting on likes from others, have not yet learned how to like themselves. Might I argue that they did all of that began with Instagram. For those of you who not savvy, see, a lot of us not social media savvy. So you will know that this level of intimidation and insecurity began with the terrorization of Snow White. Y'all remember the movie Snow White? Just go back into your childhood day. You remember the queen? She was inquiring, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Y'all remember that? This what a lot of this started back then. The queen who had a crooked crown because she was threatened by somebody, little Snow White, who had no power at all. It's amazing how many people can't see themselves because they are competing with somebody who, in fact, is drowning in a shallow, superficial water. Derrick Johnson, I watched this movie. Y'all got to watch it, Netflix, y'all. They created this thing with the bubbles. You know, the bubbles, the creation of the bubbles was designed so you can see. I'm guilty of this. You can see when somebody's typing a response to you. Y'all know the little bubbles that come up in Houston didn't be there. We got the bubbles now. In fact, it was in fact crafted to keep you glued to the screen and not move because you're waiting on a response. Y'all got to watch this movie, y'all. It click you, it clock you in to have more screen time, Brandy. I'm bringing it on, Brand, because you knew the response was coming. So if you know the response was coming, you're hanging on the screen. I've done it. Y'all has smacked me upside my head. It built a false sense of anticipation in the mind. Here go Jimmy. Jimmy done popped up. I guess he tired of me talking. Hold up, he done popped up. He coming. Hold up. I got to join him in, but I'm not gonna let Jimmy. I'm almost done, baby. Let me bring you in. Let me click him in. Okay, look at it. Let me make sure you're in there. I know he been listening. Hey, Jimmy, let me see. You kind of dark there, baby. Where your light at, man? What you ain't put your light on? Hold up. I got to have my homeboy right over there, y'all. I had to fade him in, y'all. Let me see. I got to fade him in. Yeah, that's all right. We're gonna work it out. We'll work it out. Hold on, Jimmy. Them bubbles, Jimmy. Have you been noticing the bubbles when you're typing on Facebook? I mean, when you're typing a message and you know the bubbles pop up like a response. Yeah, Jimmy, that shirt they ain't gonna get it, but you in that old bright ass shirt, it's gonna mess you up. So I'm just gonna. I'll fix it. Let me finish talking. It built a soft sense of anticipation in the mind because all of us have seen the bubbles and then watched them disappear with no response. It's a false stimulation, Jimmy, to the frontal vortex of the mind that piques the arousal of anticipation and to then be left with disappointed. Yeah, Jimmy, have you ever been texting somebody and the bubbles pop up and then all of a sudden the bubbles disappear? Have it ever happened to you, Jimmy? You can just say yes. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. But the disturbing and the eye-opening revelation, about social media when I saw it, I almost threw, when I saw the social dilemma, I almost threw my remote across the room at the TV. I'm finna help you out, and Jimmy, I'm finna bring y'all to a close right now. I'm finna bring you to a close. The service of social media is free because you, me, Jimmy, we are the product. Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter is free because me, you, all of us, Rick Timms, we are the product. You don't even realize that social media is selling you and me. All of these years you've been hearing about the byproduct of an environment, not realizing that in the 21st century, you are the product that social media is selling. You Google one thing, check this out. Tiffany, I know you're laughing. You Google one thing, Tiffany, and you turn around and all of a sudden you're getting ads on your computer. Google something, and you like the many things in a certain category. If you like too many things, all of a sudden, whatever is it that you're logged on to, that same thing flashes right up on your screen, and you're trying to figure out, Jimmy, you're trying to figure out, why did they notice? Is my house bugged? Is my house bugged? Are they on my cell phone? Are they listening to my conversations? I mean, yeah. Come on, Derek. Jimmy. The entire intention of social media is to sell your attention, to mine your data, to send you targeted ads. You have become Dale Griggs. You have become John Nukas, Dr. John Newsom. You have become the merchandise. And the advertiser has become the customer. You are the merchandise. I'm the merchandise. So, Jimmy, Macy's and Nordstrom's, all of a sudden, they the customer. All of them are buying your page. They just want access to your attention. Then they'll be able, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you the rest later, to direct your decisions. Great movie out, y'all. Netflix, called Social Dilemma. It's unbelievable how our minds are being controlled by social media. But Jimmy, what you got going on, man? I know it's Tuesday. I know we got a special guest coming a little bit later. You can talk about that or whatever you want. But I'm going to try to fix your screen. And me and you had a meeting about these light, bright colors. And I know you want to go change now, but I'm going to try to fix it. What you got going on? Let me fix it.
No, we go to break. We was all right. We almost had it. I think on our screen, it's a little bit worse than what it actually was. We go back when you faded it one time. We can go to a quick break in a second. Meanwhile, guys, welcome to the Chop Shop. Our special guest today is Alvin Brooks III, Baylor basketball assistant coach, and he's going to join us. He's been doing a lot of things during the pandemic, and which is great as far as helping fill gaps and being innovative, along with his college coaching fraternity. He's going to come on also. He's going to share with us in new rules that the college coaches of the NCAA approved last week. So once Alvin Brooks III is going to join us at the top of in about 20 minutes. He's going to come on a little early. Now at the top of the hour, about 24 minutes, he's going to join us. And so get your questions ready. Get your questions ready. And as we do so, meanwhile, last night, Lil Rick, shout out to Lil Rick Timms. I don't think it's nobody's prouder than the two of our Facebook and the Boom Boom Room viewers. There you go, right? Well, that was pretty much close out. Or than Rick Timms and Odyssey Williams. I don't think none of you guys hate the Dallas Cowboys to a greater extent than those two guys. And I'm really want to know of those two, which of those is the greater of the Dallas Cowboy haters. I'm talking about, boy. I'm talking about. We know they can't stand
Rick,
the Dallas Cowboys.
Rick got a name for. Can you hear me, Jimmy? Rick got a name for them called the Cowgirls.
Yeah.
Jimmy, is it that bad?
Yeah, that's a common name now. It's a common name.
No,
it's a common name. A lot of people, and you have to realize, a lot of times the animosity from Dallas Cowboys, especially the Cowboys, it may stem all the way from behind the fences, behind the brick walls, behind the concrete. That those relationships at an early age. If you're on the wrong side of that, stuff has a whole different definition, and people take it in certain like the Dallas Cowboys will get a life sentence as a result. Their fans, what I'm saying, will get a life sentence. I mean, other things, guys. Guess what? How it happened yesterday.
What?
We released those rankings as promised for the class of 2021. So the 2021 Greater Houston area rankings were released on rcssports.com on yesterday. And you can go there, go to rcssports.com, click on rankings. The 2021, those are the seniors. They were, and give a shout out to a lot of those guys. Ramon Walker stays number one in the area.
Okay.
You know, and in this rankings, remember now, in the past 4 or 5 years, I would take the 12th grade rankings and take the baton from Doug Jones and do those on my own. Well, due to the fact that last month we brought in and added Jeffrey Day to the RCS Sports family, and this is another set of young eyes who's in the gyms and beating the streets, it's all fair that everybody has say on every one of the classes, just like it's supposed. So now we got 3. That means now we have a collective conference.
And they can't put it all on you.
Thing.
I thought we was going to a break. Yeah, but that's all right. Keep on going. You
no,
said
I was letting you fix the thing before we went to the break.
No, the thing been fixed.
That.
I've been done that.
Yeah. So we come back, guys. We'll talk a little bit more about that. It was, and also we'll season the meat and prepare you as we go and get ready to welcome Alvin Brooks III to the Chop Shop on the day. And meanwhile, I got some breaking news. What that broke this morning, I'm gonna share that to you, share it with you as well. Chop Shop. We'll be right back.
Click and go like this way. Boom, here. Boom, that way.
Just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear. Just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they called leaders. This included.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live at the exact same time. So, Jimmy, I know you say you got some breaking news for us. I know we got a special guest, Alvin Brooks. The third is coming up a little later from the Baylor Sick'em Bears is in the building. And what else going on, Jimmy? What else you got, baby? What you got?
And he's definitely ready, and he's in the building. Back on Haller. I mentioned the Cowboys last segment. Do you feel sorry for them at all? I mean, you ain't a real Cowboy fan. You ain't one. But you don't feel sorry for them? Walter Yates. Jimmy, this Cowboy fan.
Jimmy. My daughter, okay, love her to death. My queen, she loves them. My sister, she loves them. From Memphis, if you're from Memphis, you're gonna cheer for two teams, either Pittsburgh or Dallas Cowboys. When I grew up, my whole room was decorated with Dallas Cowboy stuff. But when I became a man, I put away those childish things, and I don't cheer for them people no more. And I just don't. I cheer. I like players. So let me tell you something. I felt bad for my daughter and my sister last night. Those are the only two people I felt, because let me tell you something. It's poetic justice. And if I'm Dak, I'm sitting over there. See, Jimmy, you don't know how valuable someone is until they don't show up at work. They can talk about, come up in the screen just a little bit, Jimmy. Give me a couple of inches to the top. You can't appreciate nobody until they're gone. And now Dak Prescott is they showing, guess what? If I'm him, I'm sitting back smoking a cigar or whatever he smoked and saying, okay, that's how I wanted to play out. But feel sorry for him? No, don't feel sorry.
I don't feel sorry either. I mean, my thing is here's the thing. It comes with being a Dallas Cowboy fanatic. There's not many Dallas Cowboy fans. There's no middle ground. With Dallas Cowboys, it's either you're all in or you're all out.
Yeah.
And that's what I've noticed throughout the years. And that comes with it. You proclaimed and deemed yourself America's team. You're the most valuable franchise in the world.
North America.
Sport.
North America.
In North America.
Yeah.
The soccer program is more valuable around the world. Mm-hmm. But in North America, it comes with it. And Cowboy fans, when it happens, guess what? You're supposed to be able to take it, because you definitely give it. Whenever you get to 8-8, you have a parade. You swear to God, you're 10-6 or 11-4 or whatever. But then you look up.
Jimmy, just look at the Facebook feed right quick, Jim. See, this is what you're talking about. This dude said Dallas Cowboy fans are used to winning. That delusion right there, Jimmy, that's what you talking about. Keep talking. But that's what's wrong with them people. This dude just fixed his fingers, hold up, Jimmy, to text. He fixed his finger to put his big old gnarly fingers on this thing and said, Cowboy fans are used to winning. Winning what? Come on, Jimmy. Go and get him. I'm going to let you get him. I can't believe that dude just said that, man.
I mean, see, this is the thing. And you Cowboy fanatics can't accept accountability for your job, your role, your anointment, your faithfulness to your cult.
Jimmy,
when they're doing bad, you want to go back and reach back and want to talk about how many rings you got. Yeah. We don't listen. Jimmy. Drew Pearson ain't coming through them doors no time soon. Ed Too Tall Jones ain't coming through them doors no time soon. Hollywood Henderson ain't coming through them doors no time soon. What is his name? Robert Newhouse ain't coming through them doors no time soon. This team. Guess what? Ezekiel Elliott You guys knew, y'all knew that Ezekiel Elliott his wheels were going off the track. When he couldn't stop letting himself get into social media, he couldn't stop going into them what they call those the paraphernalia shops. You knew, you saw the wheels going off the train with him. He wanted his bag, you gave in his bag. Didn't give the guy who was closer to being a fit bill, the marketability. Even when you gave Ezekiel Elliott that bag, he ain't cut his stuff. You can't get no money with Ezekiel Elliott, no endorsements. Him ain't nobody buying nothing that he's selling. Now Dak a half breed. You can squeeze some juice out of that. You can get some milk from that titty.
Jimmy, all I'm saying, what year is this? What year is this? What year is this? Give me the year.
2020.
2020. Do you know this same guy that I just said? I'm not calling his name because I'm not giving him no credit. He put his fingers on that thing again and said, we won in the 90s. Jimmy, he wasn't even born in the 90s. He was barely born in the 90s. And he round there. My son was born in the 90s.
Dude. And you got to realize, you know what? I never was growing up in Houston. I never was a Dallas Cowboy fan. At the time, I wasn't a Dallas Cowboy hater though. Even going down and going on vacation, I never was a Dallas Cowboy hater. It just some dudes that's from Dallas, I just didn't like them. And that's just how it was. I just respect, but I did know I watched football growing up, and I was a fan. I was more so an appreciator of football as a teenager than I am right now in my 50s. So I appreciated some of those guys in the Roger Starbacks and the Golden Richards and those guys back in the days. I appreciated those guys. Tony Hill and all those guys. I appreciated all those guys back then.
Me too.
I liked it. Tony Dorsett.
Jimmy, hold on, Jimmy.
I like all those guys. But
Jimmy,
at the same time,
hold on,
in
Jimmy.
Houston,
Jimmy, you ain't said Michael Irvin yet.
No, he wasn't when I was a teenager, Hatter. I named guys that were the Dallas Cowboys when you was a teenager.
Baby. Okay, when you was a baby. Yeah, I got
you.
When you was a kid. Yeah, I got
So that's why I'm going back to those guys. That was the days when you had the steel curtain back in the 70s and with Mean Joe Green and Jack Lambert and all those guys. I understand. Back then you had the Minnesota Vikings and you had
Tom Landry? Was Tom Landry the coach?
Tom Landry was the head coach of the Cowboys.
Right.
During that time.
Right. I got you.
Being in Houston, it was hard to not be, understand, during those late 70s, it was hard to not be a Houston Oilers fan. Now understand, Houston Bum Phillips, during those Bum Phillips days, Bum brought excitement, man. Bum was, you look back and think on those coats that Bum Phillips used to wear.
Jimmy, let's not talk about that, Jimmy.
Jimmy, know what I'm talking about.
Jimmy, you can't sit up here and like Bum and don't like the Rockets.
Dude, back in the 70s, everybody loved the Rockets. We loved Billy Pauts, the Whopper. We loved Moses Malone back then when he came in the late 70s, early 80s. We loved, of course, you loved, that's how it was. If you lived in this city at that time and did not love the Oilers, something was wrong. Something was wrong.
So why y'all don't like the Rockets now? Because the Oilers didn't win nothing, so the Rockets ain't winning nothing. Why y'all don't like the Rockets now?
Well, you got to realize that's a generation.
I'm confused.
And that's a generation, and that has to be asked on each his own. That's a good question to pose and toss to the boom boom room. Why you don't? And we understand about the Oilers. That's easy to understand because there are no more Houston Oilers.
Right.
Bud Adams took the team, extracted them over to Nashville, and the rest is history. So it's easy to understand that you divorced us, you left us. While we were sleeping, you gone. Warren Moon,
I used to love Warren. Hold up. I love Warren Moon.
It was hard not to like. We had Buddy Ryan, but Kevin Gilbride was the total opposite on the personality. And that's why Buddy Ryan went to go and knock his head off on his sideline during that game with the Buffalo Bills. Went to go try to knock him out. Go right up in his
man. Gilbride was gonna whoop that old man to death. Gilbride was gonna whoop that old man. He said, "Man, get on out of here, old man. Don't come on, Jimmy."
Right. You might be right. Gilbert was young. He might have whooped Buddy Ryan. But
Buddy went at him though.
Buddy Ryan, one of them guy that carry switchblade.
Oh, he carried a knife. Yeah, he carried a knife
in his boot.
Yeah.
But that's just taking a glass to the past.
Right.
Right now, that's a good question. Why do you guys? What happened to make you? You were a Houston Rocket fanatic lover back in the days. To even go to the championship days. What made you get off the track?
And
made you raise off?
And if y'all mention one name, I'm gonna cut all y'all off the show. So Jimmy, tell us about your special. Tell us about your special news you got, because we got a guest. Our guest is in the green room.
Last night, and this is funny as hell.
Okay.
The Baytown Sun put out a tweet that Ronnie Courtney had been approved by the board as the new head coach of Goose Creek Memorial. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Baytown Sterling High School.
Okay.
Well, the coach at Baytown Sterling was promoted to the assistant AD job about a week and a half ago. Mm. And remember, Dees was in talks, and I told you I reported and scooped this news a few months ago. But something happened to prevent that head coach from Baytown Sterling from being promoted at that time. So it made it look like, some people say, oh, Jimmy, that was some bad dope. It didn't happen. I said, hold tight, just hold tight. Something ain't right about this. Hold on. Just give it a little time. Sure enough, the guy must have had to do something. They must have to cross some T's and dot some I's. And now he's been promoted. Ronnie Courtney had expressed interest in the job and would have taken the job. However, your timing was not right this time around. You talked to him, somebody sent word, Ronnie, are you interested in the job? Ronnie probably said, sure. All right. Then now you go and make the motions to go and get it done on the other side. Before he's accepted the job, you go and submit it to the board and put it on the agenda. Board approves. Now you go and leak it to your media guy, the newspaper guy. And he goes run with it last night. This is yesterday evening. Meanwhile, while you leaking this, nobody had called Ronnie Courtney. Nobody had called Ronnie Courtney. Mind you, on yesterday, nobody had contacted him and say, do you accept the job? We got our part done on our side of the fence.
Okay.
Do you accept the job?
Okay.
That didn't happen. And the newspaper guy has doubled down today and responded and sent a tweet out and tagged me on the tweet. It's on for him. I deal with him at the Y.
Why he tag you? Will you say something to them people?
I didn't tag him. I didn't say the Goose Creek Memorial. I didn't say the Baytown newspaper. This is one of those situations where hit dogs holler loud. I said,
hey man, hold up, man. I need you. I'm gonna need you, man. I'm gonna have to get some of that oil. I got to come out there and put some of that oil on you, man. I got to get some of that oil because people are coming at you on this social media, man. Jimmy, what are you doing, man?
They know when I come back.
Jimmy,
they know when I come back. I come back home.
At the beginning of the show, ladies and gentlemen, make sure, Jimmy, hold on. Make sure you go back tonight and watch the beginning of the show. You got to. I'm talking about this social media craze society right now, and Jimmy just add to it. So Jimmy didn't say nothing to this man directly, and this man went and tagged or added, whatever y'all call it. Okay.
And I'm gonna read you.
Okay.
I just pulled up my tweet from this morning. I said, check out the VIP news on rcssports.com for a complete understanding on the Ronnie Courtney coaching confusion, which I partially broke it down this morning in the VIP news.
Oh, so you put it on the VIP news in your paper. You didn't put it on Twitter.
No, I'm reading you what I put on Twitter, but
Okay.
I also put this morning in the VIP news.
Okay.
I broke it down as to what happened and what didn't happen.
Okay. Okay.
That's what the VIP news is for.
Okay.
It's only $2.50 a month, 13 cents a day. Now, I got a whole lot of free stuff on the front of RCS Sports, a whole lot of free stuff. But you guys got to understand, every time one of these young fellas, Doug Jones or Jeffrey Day, write an article on the front of their website, I have to pay them. They get paid to write.
All right, come on, man. Come on. What? Come on. Tell me about this dude.
Right? So now, that means it doesn't hurt when you go on the VIP news and you subscribe. That's helping to help keep them, get for them to eat. Back to this, what I wrote. Check out the VIP news at RCS Sports for complete understanding on the Ronnie Courtney coaching confusion. One school district jumped the gun while the other district moved in silence. That's all I wrote. That's it.
That was enough.
And this young boy come back at me on Twitter, Adam. So what he says. He says, amazing. Oh, he says, jump the gun. Word is he told them I accept the job. LOL, nice try though. Then he comes back and says, amazing how many bloggers continue to think they are real reporters. He used one school to get the other one to hire him. That shows right there that this young boy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. See, that's what I'm trying to explain. And it's funny because Baytown, is a little community right outside of Houston, about 15 miles out. And we consider them Greater Houston. But they have their own mayor, their own city councilman. And actually on the Chop Shop, we've had twice the first and only black city council person from Baytown on the Chop Shop, Charles Johnson. We've had him on Chop Shop twice. Charles Johnson doing great things out in the Baytown community. He's collaborated with Ricky Winslow with the Rowdy Foundation. They're doing stuff for the youth out there in the schools, basketball tournaments, and helping with computer literacy within the urban areas in the Baytown area and beyond. So I applaud them on that. But this out of the paper, the sports guy. You need to, let me tell you something, guy. You might want to Google either Jim Hicks or RCS Sports when any topic come up about Greater Houston basketball. And then before you respond to me, you kiss the ring. When you start talking about supposedly the word is he told him, that ain't journalism. Remember, one thing about me and you took an oath as a journalist to get that job at the newspaper, at the fish wrap. I didn't. I could have, I've long for almost 2 decades. I've served as a hell of a secret weapon to the Houston Chronicle and their sports department, specifically high school basketball coverage. I was their secret weapon. I was their Harriet Tubman to the community for almost 2 decades. You better go and check your traps. I didn't want the job.
Y'all funny.
It don't pay. It would be so many conflicts of interest with me if I took a job with the newspaper. Hell, it don't even make sense. So once again, high school basketball, once you go and do your homework, little boy, then you would understand. I'm supposed to know what's going on with a coaching change. Why in the hell would I not?
Jimmy,
come to me talking about
Jimmy,
the word is he
Jimmy,
told him how to.
Jimmy.
And guess what we're gonna do? Tomorrow, we're gonna get Rodney Courtney on the Chop Shop tomorrow. For you. Just for you. And so you can even get Rodney Courtney to give you a comment on a false story. You push some bad dope out there to your community. Had them people all hyped, thinking that Ronnie Courtney was coming to Baytown Sterling. And Ronnie Courtney said it with his own mouth. Ain't nobody called me. from that school district on yesterday to ask me if I accepted that job.
And Jimmy, you're not only having Ronnie Courtney coming on tomorrow, but you got his nephew is in the green room ready to come on the feed right now. So I can't you can't leave my man over there. We in the green room. They putting his makeup on and everything. But hey, whoever that little guy is, bless your little soul. Jimmy, I don't know why these young guys trying you this. Hey, y'all might want to leave him alone right now. He's in his season right now. You little young fellas on Twitter and all that, slow down a little bit. Let this thing play out. Just let it play out. Okay, that's the advice I have for you.
No, it ain't playing out. It's already played out.
No. I ain't talking about this situation. I'm talking about you, in case another young guy come and try to challenge you on social media, because they've been doing it a little bit lately. So in case another one, I'm just telling them to let it play out. But Jimmy, bring our guests in, man. Bring our guests. We got a special guest.
And without further ado, of course, right on cue, which ironically, as Hannah just brought up and reminded us, right on cue.
Yeah.
Ronnie Courtney's nephew.
Yes.
Is Alvin Brooks III.
Yes.
The assistant coach at Baylor.
Yes.
And how timely is that? We already had him booked on Chop Shop. Anyway, just pay him homage. And ironically, this stuff spurred up overnight. And we have him, and we'll bring him on in. Shout out to Angel Verdejo, who was formerly of the Houston Chronicle a long time with the sports section. He just validated a comment I just made. I was their secret weapon for years. He just validated it. Yeah. Not just him, before him, after him, and after the next him.
The kid didn't know, Jimmy. The kid didn't know. He ain't did his homework.
Guess what? As one of them rappers coined back in the days, you gonna learn.
Wait a minute. If you don't know, now you know. Who sung that? If you don't know, I like that. AB. Who did that? AB. What's up, Coach? How you doing, man?
Welcome to the Chop Shop. AB3 in there with us today, man. And right on cue. What's going on, man? You doing all right today?
Man, I'm doing great. How about y'all?
Doing great, man.
Doing good,
you see
man.
what we
doing.
I
like that, man.
You see what we doing, Coach.
You see that? When you get to making more money, your voice change. You see that? He got that Barry White in his voice now. Before, look at that's that money. That money voice. You got the money voice you got.
Coach, that ain't money. That's power talking, Coach.
Oh,
that
that's right. That's number one in the country last year for 2 weeks. That's
power, Coach. That man there is. He one of the most a respected young up and coming coaches. He's on that committee. I mean, whatever that little committee that meets on at the All-Star games about the up and coming coaches. He started a think tank amongst college coaches. That's that gleaming out. Money comes and go, but that power gonna always stay. And that's what I hear in his voice today. Welcome, Coach Alvin Brooks III in the building today. But Alvin Brooks, you got a prized possession of mine on campus right now. and let me tell you, I got to ask, wait a minute, he's on campus. I got to ask, how is LJ Cryer doing today? That's what I want to know.
LJ doing great. He's doing great. He's a part of the best guards in the country. So he's one of those guys.
Hold on, Coach. I got something for you. Hold on, Coach. I got something. Hold up. Okay, now you can continue. Now you can continue.
LJ's doing great, man. First of all, he's a great person.
Yeah.
Come from a great family, and I mean, he works extremely hard. So that's all we can ask. And so by him working hard, then it's definitely gonna pay off.
Okay, Jimmy, I know.
Yeah. Now we were just speaking of the Ronnie Courtney coaching gig, which he's accepted the job at Thurgood Marshall High School. And yesterday, it was a lot of confusion yesterday evening about him taking another job, Baytown Sterling. And you have direct knowledge of this being your uncle. Elaborate on that, because you went to social media with a comment about this topic, from what I understand, right?
Man, how you been doing your homework, huh? No, I just, I heard that he was going to Thurgood Marshall, but I seen a tweet saying that he accepted the job to, Baytown Sterling. So I just reached out to my family and asked, which one is he going to be doing so I could congratulate him. And so I spoke to him last night around midnight. And so, obviously, where he's going, but I just wanted to make sure that I knew where he was going so I could, congratulate him and talk to him about it.
And he is going where?
Oh, is it announced yet? I just, I don't
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to, I think it'll be.
Yeah, I mean,
want him
what
to
kind of
be-
announcement do they make for high school?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a little
I
secret.
don't know.
Let me tell y'all a little secret I got. When you go pick up your keys from the school, I saw, you know how you have your little people on the campus. When you go pick up your keys from a school this morning, I kind of think if they give you them keys, you probably he was sighted leaving the school with some keys today. Marshall High School.
No. Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. I think you're right. Yesterday. He was sighted leaving Marshall with some keys yesterday. So, I don't know. Wait, hey, we'll see soon.
Yeah, I can't really comment about high school. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Alan, that ain't true. He can't comment about high school
player. I know it, but guess what? He don't want to, Jimmy. It's a chop shop. I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable today.
Yeah, well, they gonna put that into the cookout.
I got some more stuff for him. I got some more stuff a little bit. I don't want to kill it with that one. So what, Jimmy? Do me a favor. It was a reason, and I know you always have when you brought AB on today, and I know all of his accomplishments and things that he's doing. And what was it? I know, what was your chief reason for bringing him on today? It had to be something. I know you don't just do things haphazardly. What's going on?
Well, absolutely. We brought him on because during the pandemic, as I said, that Alvin Brooks III, Coach AB3, has been innovative in his efforts to keep informing the world and bridge together a lot of college coaches and a lot of like minds about various topics. And you created a social media platform and a podcast of such. And tell us about that and how did that transpire?
Oh, it's called Be Ready. And so it's actually coaches at all levels. It's actually, we have some high school coaches in Texas that's part of the Be Ready family also, even in Houston. And so it's coaches at all levels. I had, a friend reach out to me and, I'm in a group meet and it was supposed to be about mentoring and helping one another. But, all it was who's the GOAT, MJ, Kobe, or LeBron. And so I'm like, if this is a mentor thing to help one another, then we need to help each other with basketball. And so I started a Zoom account, and it started off to where, I thought it was going to be like 10, maybe if it was 10 people helping one another, then it'll be good. But it turned out to, we've been going since March 22nd, and I think tomorrow night it'll be Ready Part 44. So it's definitely been tremendous as far as everybody learning from it.
Coach, what is your Jimmy, what is your highlight? You said it's 40, it'll be 44 the next one. What is your highlight of all of these figures? I know you said it just started out, you said 10 coaches, okay. But it was a catalyst. Something made you say, okay, this could be, what was that thing that just said, bang, I got to keep doing this?
The first night that we did it on March 22nd, Zoom give you 45 minutes free. And we went for 3 hours just talking about different basketball topics. And I actually paid for an account that night. And since I paid for the account and we can get a certain amount of hours, unlimited hours for free, then I only felt it right that we continue to do it since we couldn't go to work.
I did not know that. I did not. I'm glad you know about Zoom. I'm glad you just educated me on something on Zoom. So, so what else you got,
Yeah.
Jim?
Yeah, name some of the guests that you've had on there again on Be Ready.
Man.
Some of your more memorable, not all 41, but your more notable shows, and tell us how can they find those shows.
They all memorable. I mean,
Yeah, you know he ain't
I'm
gonna
not,
say that.
I'm being serious. We've been blessed to have some elite guests come and share their knowledge with us for free. I mean, just recently we had Leonard Hamilton. We've had search firms, multiple search firms. We have athletic directors, and we've had, I mean, man, Damon Stoudemire came on, Rob Lanier, Coach Drew, Jason Hooten, Mike Davis, Fran Fischella. I mean, we've had a lot of different guests.
Coach, I got a question. I know you had all the. You just named the who's who in college basketball. Does have a high school coach ever been the speaker or the main guest?
NCAA rules won't allow us to do that. If so, then we definitely would have had, we would have had it. But
so
NCAA
they can listen.
Won't allow us.
So they can listen. They just can't be the keynote speaker.
Yeah, they can listen and they can talk. I mean, like it's like an open forum to where it's not like a webinar. Like we all like we working on public speaking also. So it's not just about just them listening. It's about participating.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, it's awesome. And a lot of people, I think that you indirectly, and it wasn't like you were competing against other, but your Be Ready show actually put pressure on a lot of other coaches in the region across the country to find ways to be as visible. And did you kind of feel any people kind of like hate because Baylor, they trying to figure out what y'all must be doing something wrong, because every time Baylor does something right, then some people feel like you're doing something wrong. And did you get any?
I don't know. I don't know. I really didn't pay attention to it. I'm sure it was. I think a lot of people was wondering, like, man, what they gonna do next? I think a lot of it's been more organic. I think that's why it's lasted so long, because it's been organic. It's been a lot of guys that gotten jobs, that have gotten jobs. Just yesterday we had one of the female guests become an interim AD at a university, and so we had ops guys become assistant coaches. We've had Jays become part of a program. We've had high school coaches become college coaches. Just from we've done mock interviews, and they've gotten jobs because of the mock interviews. And it's not just mock interview to be a head coach, but we've put people in position where they've done mock interviews to become an assistant coach. And so it's more about just learning the X's and O's. Like the last one, we had Coach Kelvin Sampson on last Wednesday, and he spoke to us about practice planning. Because if you can't have a good practice plan, you're not gonna have a good practice. And so he spoke to us for an hour and 15 minutes about practice planning. So everything that we do is like it's intentional. Everything, the title of it is called Be Ready, because as a minority coach, when we have a shot to become a head coach, we have to be a sniper. We probably gonna get one shot. So that's why it's called Be Ready, because we only gonna probably get one shot to be a head coach.
Wow, I like that analogy.
So what are some of the things in interviews for college coaching jobs that give us two things or two questions that a coach that's watching right now that they should be ready and prepared to answer?
To be an assistant coach?
Yes.
I think first off is, who are your references? Like who's going to vouch for? A lot of people say, I know this guy, but my pops always tell me, all right, about who you know, it's about who knows you. So if you don't have somebody that's credible to vouch for you, then it's not gonna go anywhere. And so after somebody's credible that vouch for you, then it's about what are you skilled at? Like what are you elite at? What are you good at? Because you have to be elite at something. And then you have to be good at multiple things in order to help a program.
So, I mean, and a lot of, I guess, on the naive side of the fence, a lot of coaches aren't prepared for that question.
No, I mean, I have, just think about it. Like, how many people, like, if a lot of people may contact you as far as you being a reference for them, but how many of them do you actually really know that you will like really, really vouch for?
Oh, they do that all the time to me.
Exactly, but how
All the
many of
time.
them would you really? How many of them have you really, really, really vouched for? Like you ain't got to say the number, like, but that's like reality. Like you have, I tell like, people ask me all the time, like, will you mentor me? Like to me, you need to have the people that's around you to mentor you because they're around you every day, and they can vouch for you more than anybody because they see your work ethic every day. So somebody that you work with have to vouch for you in order for you to be able to get a job. That's just my opinion.
And I'm looking at you, I'm listening right now, and the evolution, the mental and the presence, your presence from the coaching ranks, going from Fort Smith, Arkansas. I remember you were the first coach and the first and only coach in JUCO history to win a national championship at 2 different colleges in consecutive years. Did I get that right?
Yep. The only coach period, yeah, to win back-to-back national championships at 2 different universities back-to-back years.
Has that help with your resume anywhere along the way? Like, it's something that back in the days when I would come out of school, everybody had a Leatherman jacket, and we wore it in Houston. It'd be 90 degrees. You wore that Leatherman jacket, 90 degrees with patches on the side. You had your name on the back with your hook line in the swoop of your name. That was a hell of a patch on your jacket. Does that,
Jimmy, being an assistant coach, that'll be a patch on your jacket? Being an assistant at both places?
Yeah, because you had to get those players there.
I know, but I'm sorry.
At Midland, I was the only assistant. At Midland Junior College, I was the only assistant in that.
Okay.
At Fort Smith, it was only 2 of us. And so it definitely, I was blessed, obviously, to be around great coaches, but also great players. But I feel like it taught me, like, it's more than one way to win, but I know what it takes to win. And so I've been able to, it actually gave me confidence moving forward in my career. So no matter where I'm at, even at the high major level, like I know what it takes to win. Like you can't trick me and say that this is not it because it's more than one way to do it. But the core values of winning, those don't change.
And you also had a Houston kid on both of them rosters, if I'm not mistaken, or at least one of them I know for sure, right?
Both. Jordan Brooks may be the only player to be a part of. Him and Ryan McCoy both were part of those teams, and the second team, Darius Santee, was also a part of. He was a part of the Midland team.
Darius Santee,
as a freshman. Yeah. And so
that's High Tower High School back in the days. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so wait a minute. You hold on. You took them kids from Fort Smith, Arkansas, and took them kids with you to Midland. You swiped them kids.
We all a big family.
We all swiped them. Yeah, it wasn't it was Jimmy. AB leaving. AB, hold up. AB leaving and going to Midland. Hey man. We going with AB.
was a family decision.
Yeah,
I just
we go overdue, man. I like that.
Man,
I like that.
so relationships. That athletic director who was at Fort Smith, Arkansas at the time, is he still in the business? And if so, like, have y'all? What happened the first time you kind of went in the room with him again after you took them kids and went over there and won a national championship and left his program in shambles?
I've honestly, I don't even realize. I don't even, the athletic director at the time. I don't think he knew. Jeremy Cox was the head coach, but Jeremy Cox was on his way to becoming a Division I assistant coach.
Yeah.
So he actually went to Texas A&M with my pops and Billy Gillespie. So I knew, we just won a national championship, and I knew they weren't going to give me the job. So, I wasn't going to stay there and be somebody else's assistant. And so with me not being there and Jeremy Cox not being there, there were no way the players are going to stay there.
What's the biggest gamble that you took on your career in your as a basketball coach? Because everybody has a point where you go all in with your chips. Say, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna, hope this worked like this. What is the biggest leap on faith that you took based in your career, looking back on it?
After winning the national championship at Midland, when I went to Bradley University, that was probably the biggest leap.
But that's going to D1.
Yeah, but that was the first time I was out of my region.
Yeah,
Chicago,
that's what I was about to say.
Illinois. And so that was the first time I remember when I went to recruit in Chicago. And that was the first time in my life I ever walked in the gym and I didn't know one person. Like it was culture shock. I didn't know not one person. And so I would say, that time it kind of hit me to where I was like, man, what am I doing? Because I was out of my region, but it forced me to grow because it forced me to build relationships. And, building relationships, if you're a genuine person and a good person, I mean, you could build genuine relationships anywhere. And so it forced me to get out of my comfort zone and meet different people.
That's amazing, man. So you go from Bradley. I'm glad. Well, let's go. You go from Bradley. After that, how many years at Bradley?
I was at Bradley for 3 years, and then after Bradley, I went to Sam Houston for 2 years, and then after Sam Houston, I was at Kansas State for 4 years.
Yes.
And now this is my 5th year at Baylor.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Jimmy?
Man, I mean, it's one hell of a ride. Now you're at Baylor, and already your name comes up. Not just your name, of course, Coach Tang's name as well. Every time a doggone gig comes open, either your name or his name comes up. So my question is this: do you think that both of you guys names coming up for certain jobs have actually or can possibly cancel each other out?
Good question.
It probably can. To be honest, I don't think neither one of us care. If it does, that just means it wasn't a job for us. But we had a great spot with great people, and so like neither one of us is leaving for anything. Like we not messing up happy. Like,
right.
Like y'all said earlier, money comes and go, happiness doesn't. And so I've been places to where I wasn't happy, and I'm not willing to do that just for an opportunity to be a head coach. It got to be with the right people.
That's awesome, man. Makes a lot of sense.
I'm not messing up happy, and that's quoting AB3. That's some T-shirt stuff right there. Yeah, I'm not messing up happy.
Coach,
I like that right there.
Coach, hey, I'm gonna tell you, and what you're saying, Coach. I've had the pleasure of being on the campus and watching y'all work. That is a special situation y'all got up there, man. And and I mean for real. I mean, it's just and it's organic. I mean, y'all just like. I mean, I was sitting and watching y'all when y'all weren't even watching. When y'all were just going doing your stuff. And it's a shout out to that program. Shout out to the leadership, Coach Drew, Coach Tang, yourself. Yes, man, that's awesome. If you haven't had the advantage to be able to go up and visit that campus and visit this coaching staff, especially these young coaches. Man, there's no way that drive to Waco, man, by the time you get off 3 or 4 phone calls, you there, and make sure and being around that staff. And man, my plea is young coaches, go watch greatness. Go watch. We have it here. We have it here right down there on Calhoun also. But if you ever get a chance to drive out to Waco, go out to Waco and watch this staff at work. So, Jimmy, I wanted to just share that.
What we do right now, we go to the Boom Boom Room. Okay. And, of course, in case you guys are watching on one of the platforms, we are streaming live on Facebook and, of course, via Twitter as we speak. And both platforms are streaming live. Comments are in both on both visibly. We call it the Boom Boom Room collectively. So the Boom Boom Room has questions for you, and we'll toss them to you at this time. One is a good, funny one right here. This is from Lil Rick. Lil Rick gonna always come with one with some history or something to it. And this one is, ask Alvin how often, if ever, that head coach Scott Drew mentioned his brother Bryce Drew hitting that game-winning 3 back in 1998 during the first round, the NCAA tournament, right after his homeboy Ansu Cisse missed them 2 free throws at Ole Miss.
Man, first of all, Sue, I know, obviously I know Sue because he played in Houston, and being from Houston, and he played in Seattle for the Sonics at the same time Rashard did for a while. But Coach Drew actually have some recollection, he has some things in his office, recollection of things in his office to, remind people about it. Obviously it's one of the biggest shots in college basketball history. And so with that, you have like a plaque that you press the button and the broadcaster repeats what happened. And so it's pretty cool. And, to have the video, actually one of the point guards is on our staff, Jared Nunez. He's on our staff. So he was a part of the pile when they dove on top. So he shows it quite a bit.
Now also another question. How do we got some more? Put some more.
I got one from Alex Castero. He said, as you evaluate high schoolers, what is the one automatic thing that you would sell that would sell you on a kid, and one automatic turnoff that would disqualify the kid? Also, do you focus more on what they do on what they do on AAU, or on the grassroots team, or the high school team? Good question.
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I think, one thing that I think, obviously a turn on is talent. You have to be talented enough. So that's one thing that, that sells us if the kid has enough talent. I think a turnoff is, as far as how they handle themselves. And so if they're not coachable, then to us, that's tough, because they won't listen to their parents, or they won't listen to the adults in their life. Then we're no different. They're not going to listen to us when they get here. And so from my experience, this is just my experience, the kids that make it, that I've coached in my 17 years, always have at least one person that they're afraid of that you could call that can help get them back on track if they ever get off track. And so for me, a turnoff to that is, if they're not scared of anybody in their life. I've coached a kid that wasn't scared of anybody in his life, and he didn't make it because there was no one we could call to help him get back on track when he fell off track. And who we focus on, I think you have to focus on high school and AAU,
both,
because they're both important. Like, you don't want to say one is more important than the other, because that's selling whatever, a state, so is a state championship not important, but when on the circuit is important. Like, I think it gotta be both. Like, if you're a winner, you gotta be a winner at both. And so we want to try to get guys that are winners, no matter what it is, high school or AAU. Because if you're a winner, then you're gonna have some qualities to help us win, which at the end of the day is our job.
Guess what?
And-
Your family, part of your family just showed up, popped up on the screen. She said, "Tell you hello." Miss Courtney said, "Hello, Michelle." That's on the thing. She told me to tell you hello. I had to get that.
Twice.
Yeah, we had to get that out of the way. We had to make sure that happened.
And they don't say nothing. She said it twice.
She said it twice.
Again.
Okay. I didn't see the first
Tell them
time,
I said
Michelle.
hello.
I didn't see the first time. My bad. But Coach, I'm just sitting there. That was a great question. We got another, Jimmy. We got another one.
Yeah, we got. I mean, they got pumping up. They're pumping the questions right through both platforms, like you wouldn't believe right now. And
I got one, Jimmy. Let me get this one. Let me get this one, Jimmy. Besides your father, whom has made the most impact on your career?
Whoa. That's a good question. It's been a village. I've been, my dad and I talk about it all the time. I know he's getting older because, he started telling me sentimental stories, which, that's when you get into that age. And so
Right.
I've been blessed from Little League, Coach Seawood. I mean, he had a big impact on my life, to middle school, Coach Miller. Man, I've had, so many coaches. I even now to this day, a lot of coaches, like I talked to Coach Estelle quite a bit. I talked to obviously Coach Tang and Coach Drew. It really a lot of coaches that I work for. Chris Lowry, Bruce Weber, Jason Hooten. I mean, I don't want to tell nobody short. It's a village of people that I kind of lean on as far as to help me.
And I was just noticing that everywhere you've been, it may be only one coaching job that you've been on that the head coach within a 2-year span did not receive a pay raise.
Boy, you gonna bring it back to that money every time. Come on, B. Must be the money.
I didn't say him. I'm saying his boss.
No, but you gonna mention it. But keep on.
I mean, that's
a good question. That's a good question.
So that means everybody that's hired him has got a pay raise. He's a return on investment.
That's a great stat. I ain't even know that myself.
Am I lying? Can you think of one of your coaches within 2 years they didn't get a pay raise? Meaning you got a better job, you got investment, you got a bump in salary. Can you think of one of your coaches within a 2-year span of you arriving on and getting your first check, they didn't get a pay raise? Which one? See?
Yeah. I mean, I've been blessed. I've been blessed to be a part of winning programs. A lot of the times, like even I've been in Big 12. This is my 9th year. And when I was at K-State, Coach Weber was Big 12 Coach of the Year one of those years. And, obviously this past year, Coach Drew was Big 12 Coach of the Year this past year. So, I would like to think that I have a little part in, helping the programs. And so that's why I feel like, I guess you got a point.
Why didn't you do that for the dude at Baylor? I mean, no, excuse me, at Bradley. I'm sorry, at Bradley.
Man, I'll be honest. If I was I'm the type of person to where I'm not gonna rock the boat. You know what I mean? Like,
gotcha.
I was straight out of junior college, and I wasn't as assertive as I should have been. I had the best relationship with the players.
Okay.
Because I was the one that checked curfew. I was the one that ate with them breakfast and everything. But I wasn't as assertive I went from being the only assistant coach to being one of 4 or 5.
Gotcha.
And I allowed everybody else to do more than what I did. I didn't, looking back, I regret it, but it made me better for now though.
Has that ever came up in one of your Zoom meetings, in your Be Ready meetings, that you can that's something that you can hand down to the next young coach coming up? That's a great story right there, Coach. And you got through it. That I don't know if you have brought that up in your meetings before, but that's a great nugget right there. You need to write that one down, because I know because that's a great one that you need to leave somewhere written down for our next generation that comes after you gone. Some young coach gonna need that information. So write that one down somewhere in a book.
We definitely talk. We talk about it. I mean, every Be Ready session is not on YouTube for a reason. We talk about a lot. So
yeah, I never seen it, because I thought you could never. I thought it was just for y'all.
So a lot of them are on YouTube.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but all of them are not, because
Okay.
some of them are meant to like stay in the family. And
Okay.
so, but no, that's something we have talked about it. And so, any questions that, I mean, we actually help one another. That's one thing I love about the Be Ready family is there's not a lot of, it's no politics at all. Like it's straight investing into one another, which is, really rare.
And Coach, I'm gonna repeat it because somebody didn't hear it. All you said that one of your if you had to go back and regret some stuff when you were at Baylor, at Bradley, being a new coach, you came in, you wasn't as assertive as you should have. You didn't want to rock the boat. You had 4 other assistant coaches with you. You came from you was the only assistant at one place. I'm just rehashing this for people who just came on the show. And then you just say you wish you had been more assertive back then. Not rock necessarily, because sometimes when you rock the boat, people don't understand it. But you wish your voice had been, you'd have voiced certain things that would have probably helped the program a lot better.
Yeah, like I've seen things that could have been done to help us win, but
okay.
I didn't, what I felt like I wasn't in position to, because I was kind of the guy that, the new guy. And then, also me being the only African American, that played another part.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I had never worked with another minority until I went to Kansas State in my entire career, and so it was different for me. So I even had to get used to that.
Wow, Jimmy, can we take a quick break right now?
We got a couple of questions. We got several questions. We can cut up on all these questions. Then if I toss in a couple of mines.
Okay.
I want to make sure the boomerang. And one Chuck asked, as coach, is there a contingency plan if the NCAA hoop season take a turn while in session?
Yes, it's a plan. It's a plan called. We're not thinking about negative right now. So no, I honestly don't know. I've heard we got
and I think that would come from the conference, Coach. I think that would come from the conference and the NCAA a little bit more. Just like Adam Silver and those decisions that came from the heads. The players and the coaches really didn't have. Who asked that question, Jimmy?
Chuck.
Yeah, and it's probably the same in the NCAA basketball.
Yeah, I know NCAA have plans.
Yeah,
so they have plans in case something happened. But as for now, for us, it's more of just we take COVID tests as a staff, team, managers, everything once a week, and then once the season starts, we'll take it 3 times a week. And so we're doing everything we can to make sure that we play. So we just got to make sure that we continue to do that.
Okay, cool. Here's another one. Scholar Athletes ask, and this is a question from one of the comments from a while back, speaking, they're taking you back to Bradley. Bradley is intriguing to a lot of the viewers.
Chicago.
How was it recruiting in Chicago compared to Houston?
what do they mean? Like,
Yeah, that's a broad statement of.
What are some of the? Was it different? I guess probably what he's meaning. Was it different recruiting Chicago, or that different because you relied on relationships? That is the foundation of anything. Not to say you did not know anybody in Chicago, because if you didn't, then people knew your pops, and you connect the dots backwards, or they knew people that you worked for, or you knew people that's in fraternity, and you go from there. So is the difference in how the area is being recruited? I guess that's how to sum it up.
I think it was different for me just because I was going from the ground of a relationship to where in Houston, my relationship, I would say, has already been built most of the time. And if it's not been built, my dad's name, and thank God that he's done a great job of being a good person and treating people right, to where I'll be able to build a relationship quicker in Houston, to where in Chicago, they may have known my dad's name, but they don't know what kind of person he is to be able to help me build a relationship faster. So I think in Chicago, they had to, really, really feel me out a lot more than somebody would in Houston.
Yeah, that makes good sense.
I got one for you.
And
Go on, Jim.
No, come on.
Chuck McGowan wanted to ask you, who was the better player, Ed or Emmanuel White?
You about to start something. They gonna start playing.
Which one was the best, man? I mean, I don't remember. I know I got to see him again, and I know who I thought was the best.
I think the left-handed one is the best.
The left hand, yeah, lefty. Lefty was the best.
They both lefties.
Oh,
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say the lefty. Yeah, they both lefties.
But one of them uses right a little bit more.
Yeah, one of them was had a high major offer, and so but they my brothers. So
I know.
Tell them to do their research and they'll see.
Okay, all right. That's a good one though. That's a good one though.
Of course, the white twins are guys you may have seen. Rashard Lewis and the RL9 program. Those are the two twins, the two siblings that is who helps run that foundation. And also, you might have seen him back in the pro-am days when the Rashard played, and they would be playing out there visibly as well during those days. So those who we're talking about, the White brothers. And of course, you're speaking of Rashard Lewis. Tell us about your relationship with Rashard and being in each other's weddings and how a lot of people that know your relationship, how close and also give us one of your funniest Rashard Lewis stories. You start laughing before you told it. Hell, tell us the story. You can't start laughing before you tell it.
Hey.
No, man. Obviously, I'm close to Rashard. He was the best man in my wedding, and
right.
So,
yeah,
anybody that's the best man in your wedding, you're gonna be really, really close to him. He's like a brother to me. But I think a funny story is Rashard is so quiet, man. Like people have no idea how to know
until
Rashard is so quiet, but. So I asked him to speak to our team last year before the season, and he was nervous. Like the dude called me like 20 times before he had to speak to our team. I'm like, Rashard, but you played in the NBA for 17 years. These dudes gonna be excited, and he was like nervous, like really, really, really nervous. So I thought that was funny because he's a dude that spoke to millions of people by many interviews, and like he was nervous to speak to our team, which like 17 to 21 year olds.
But you know what though, Alvin? It had more to do with doing being representing his best friend more than that was the thing. He didn't want to let you down. I think that just me knowing him, that's probably what it was. Because I know he can talk in front of people, but this time he was representing you, and that's a big difference. But I got a good one for you, Al. Angel Vadero, he said, man, Angel, I messed up your name. I had tongue twisted. He said, I'd be interested to hear coach's thoughts. No, that's not the one. He had one before that one. Hold on. He was talking about, okay, he said, you mentioned being a sniper when you get a head coaching job because you may not get only but one shot. Do you think black coaches are close to breaking that mold and open more doors? If not, what can help to move the needle? What can we do? And I know you've been trying to move the needle with Be Ready, but this Angel Vajero, what you say about that?
You know, I hope that we close to breaking the mold and opening more doors. Obviously, whether we are or not, you know, I think only time will tell. I can't guarantee that. But you know, if not, I think the biggest thing is we have to be willing to share what we know. Before the pandemic, I'll be honest, a lot of coaches, especially black coaches, we didn't look at each other as just competitors. I think a lot of times we looked at each other as enemies, and you know that's the way to stun our growth because we're not teaching each other what we know. And so that's one thing that Be Ready has done is, you know, we've had coaches. I mean, all of us, we admitted that we spoke to one another when we recruiting, but that's about as far as it goes. We never share any information because I think black coaches could look at it as, hey, not only are we competing for their recruit, but most staffs only have one black assistant coach. Like in certain guys' minds, we competing for jobs. And so, you know, it shouldn't have to be that way. And so hopefully after this pandemic, it taught us a lesson to where we can definitely help one another and still everybody have a chance to continue to get better and receive the blessings that's for them.
Jim?
I mean, I'm loving the question. You guys keep them pumping in, and we go to
Coach. If you look to your right, Coach.
Somebody else said,
Coach, let me help Coach out a little bit. Coach, if you go to your right, if you can see the comments coming up, Coach. If you click that little button up, so a little button up to your in the top in the screen.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, you can see some of the things coming up. I should have told you that earlier, but keep going, Jim.
Now we got another one, and somebody asked for you to. Can you name your best 8 players that you've coached? I'm gonna shrink it for you. Give me your starting 5 from all of different programs. Who would give me your starting 5?
Man.
See, I strive on asking a question that nobody else would ask you. That way now you can come on. That way now you got to come on with it. They all grown, man.
Coach, Coach trying to see who not to offend, but keep going, Coach.
And I know he gonna find a way to put Jordan Brooks somewhere in that starting 5 at the point guard. He's gonna find a way. Jordan Brooks played at MacArthur High School.
I mean,
he gonna find a way.
I think it's tough, man. Like I'm gonna go championship teams only.
Okay. All right.
Teams that won the Big 12 or national championship or All-American.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my point guard would be this. I'm not including nobody from Baylor. That's still playing.
Okay. All right.
So point guard would be probably Angel Rodriguez that played for us at Kansas State.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
2 guard. Man. Rodney Magruder that was at Kansas State that played for the Clippers.
Pro. Keep going.
3 Sonny Weems.
Sonny Weems
played at Arkansas. Played in the NBA.
Yeah.
I would say him as a 3. The 4, I would say Jonathan Motley. He's the first All-American in Baylor history.
Okay.
Consensus All-American. And then at the 5, oh man. That's tough. 5, I would say probably this kid named Achila Pastos or Jordan Henriquez. That'll be up for grabs, the 5.
Now,
I
where
would
did
say
you coach Sonny Weems at?
Sonny Weems at Arkansas Fort Smith.
That's right.
He was
That's
actually
right.
the first. He was the first kid I went to go watch play live as an assistant coach.
And who was the center who you said would be your 5 again?
Achila Passos, he was the MVP for us at Fort Smith when we won the championship. Jordan Henriquez, who's the all-time shot blocker in K-State history. One of those.
Which
guys.
one of them? You trying to hedge. Which one of them?
Man, that's tough.
Championship. K-State didn't win a championship, though. The other guy did.
Yeah, I guess he won a national one. K-State only won a Big 12 one.
Yeah.
How you spell?
I'm trying to help you, Coach.
And I was trying to write them out for the Boom Boom Room to see, and I can't spell the last guy's name.
Yeah, it's rough.
Help me out with the spelling on that one.
Hatilla, and then Passos, Passos.
Oh, Passos. Okay.
So you have 2
He's
Arkansas
from Brazil.
Fort Smith players in your starting 5 of all time in during your coaching tenure. 2 of them, and of course Sonny Weems. We know what ended up happening to him. What ended up happening to Hachila?
Achila ended up going into Mexico State, and then he's from Brazil, so he's been playing professional in Brazil.
So I got another question. So tell me this: like a lot of times we see kids, and the slogan out on this side of the fence is, and of course on yours as well, picking the right school, picking the right program. That's what they really mean when they say pick the right school. They really mean pick the right program for you. What are some tips? Because my thing is, it's one of those things. Like to me, that sounds like when a person get in trouble and they say pick the right lawyer. And unless you go and can afford 1 or 2 or 3 different big ticket names, which the general public, 99% can't, how do you pick the right lawyer? And you got a court date coming up in about 4 or 5 days or not. How do you pick the right lawyer? So how do you pick the right program? What goes into that? On your side of the fence, I think now more so than ever, it becomes more important for people to really understand and not say it so loosely as to what it means and what goes into picking a program for them. What are your thoughts on that?
So, in my opinion, it's 3 things that every family should look at, and obviously, after these 3 things, you can add whatever you want to add. But 3 things I think when you're looking for a school. The first one is, do they have the major that I'm interested in? And if not, do they have something that's similar to the major that I'm interested in? Because you have to be a student athlete and you have to go to class. So if you're going to go to class, you have to make sure that you're making good grades or whatever. Everybody does different in school, but you have to give maximum effort. So you have to at least like the classes that you're in. After that, to me, I think you have to be a part of a winning team. Because if you're not a part of a winning team, then most of the time you're going to be miserable unless you have different goals. But most of the people say they want to win. So if that's the case, then if it's not a winning program, what are you going to do to help them win? And so after that, you actually contributing to the winning team. So what is your role in that winning team? Because everybody want to make sure that they feel important. That's human nature. I mean, we won 23 games in a row, a Big 12 record last year, and you can still see some guys not as happy as they should have been. just because they feel like their role wasn't big enough when in reality their role actually was, but people from the outside is telling them what they should have been doing.
Now, another good question is, we talked about this yesterday, and that's the walk-on process. And the reason that it came about is because I was informed there's parents out there who have military experience. And this adds another different angle to the walk-on process, because a lot of military kids, that's what we call them, kids of parents was in the military, they are eligible for under the Hazelwood Act, which would provide and pay for tuition to any school in the country for them to attend. Now, let's say if a kid is 6'3". Now, of course, NCAA rules prevent you from talking about a specific prospect who have not signed. So we're not talking about specifics. We're just talking about scenarios on the walk-on scale. The walk-on that's 6'3", that has the grades, that probably started on varsity, what are the odds of him becoming, if he wants to become a walk-on, like most people don't, but he wants to be a walk-on, how hard it would him to be, or what would be the steps you would propose that they take as far as joining a staff long before they graduate high school?
If they want to be a walk-on just in general,
yes.
I think you have to, I think here it is again, you have to figure out who do you know that knows those coaches well enough to where they'll be able to, they credit is good enough for coach to listen. Because we get a lot of, walk-on opportunity emails and walk-on opportunity calls, but if we don't know you, then it's harder for us to really listen, because if you're going to be a walk-on, you have to be problem-free. Like, you can't come in and you the one that's late, you the one that's, your grades are not great, you're never on time, or you causing problems. Like, if you're a walk-on, you basically have to be elite, because you're basically an extension of the coaches. Because the great walk-ons I've been a part of, they uplift practice every single day with the energy. Like, you can't be there just, you're not going to get much playing time. So what are you bringing to the table? And it got to be your energy. Because if you just walking on, I think they got to figure out, why do they want to walk on? Do they want to walk on to be a part of the program to help? Or they set on, I need to play this certain amount of minutes? Because if it's about minutes, then I think the experience is going to be miserable.
Can you think of any black players that were walk-ons in men's basketball, Division I, that eventually earned a scholarship playing that sport, How many black players can you name? We started comprising a list on yesterday, and we only got past about 4 or 5 names from out of Houston. But so we're talking about players that and we'll expand it from the state of Texas. Can you think of any walk-ons that black?
I don't even know if I ever coached a black walk-on from the state of Texas.
Wow. Is that good or bad?
Maybe let me change that. Markel McKinney at Sam Houston. He played at the same high school with Eric Williams when I was at Sam Houston, and he walked on for us. And he ended up earning,
South Springs High School.
Yep, Markel McKinney. He ended up earning a scholarship for us.
Okay, good.
And he
I add him to the list, Hatter. We're gonna try to get to 10 at least. We getting there day by day. And I'm gonna ask Ronnie Courtney that same question tomorrow, because he was a Division I coach, and he might have one, because all them kids he brought back from Fort Bend ISD when he first got the TSU job. It might be 1 or 2. Hell, might have been little Master P nephew, little cousin, Donald Hogan. He might. I'm gonna ask. I don't know if he might have been one. I don't know. I mean, he was on that team at TSU that went to the national tournament and lost to UNC Asheville in overtime in 2003. But back to you, Coach Brooks. We're getting ready to land the plane. No, you got to get over there and get to some workouts.
That's right.
And Angela asked, say the kid's name again, Markel McKinney, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I remember the name.
Yeah, Markel. I'm getting old now, so but yeah, Markel McKinney. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Now, last thing is, can you briefly expand and define these new rules that the NCAA just announced last week? Every player will be able to get a year. What does that mean for the coach for the Division I programs? What does that mean for the class of 2021 high schoolers?
I think it's uncharted territory that we've never seen before because, for example, for us, we have 3 seniors, and all 3 seniors could come back, and so you can get up to 6. We can get up to 16 scholarships next year if they chose to. I think every school is different. The schools does not have to honor seniors coming back, and so if they don't, the school doesn't honor it, then the students are allowed to transfer and play right away because you have the one-time transfer. And so it's going to be different for the 2021 class just because, at certain schools, you never know what seniors are going to decide to come back. And, even with the one-time transfer, a lot of schools may just try to hold out for that. And so I think for the 2021 class and the 2022 class, it's going to be different just because everybody basically get their year back. And so even freshmen, sophomore, and juniors, I mean, they still will be able to have an extra year moving forward. So it's not just the seniors, it's everybody.
It's everybody. And that's the thing. So do you think who benefits most? What level would probably is set to benefit mostly from this revision of the rules? Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, or JUCO?
I think so far only Division I has passed this rule.
So I'm saying who's likely to benefit though? Who's the benefit to reap the most rewards of talent?
From the high school kids?
Well, no, from
the fallout of all of this, like it's gonna be some what they call it, it's gonna be some attrition. Okay. Some people gonna not be here, some people gonna go here, some people. So I think that's what you're saying, Jimmy. Who's gonna benefit when all of this stuff clear? Who's gonna benefit the most?
That's a great question. I would think, kids first of all probably try prep schools. I would think, and I think prep schools benefit, and then after prep schools, I would think junior college maybe, but then with the one-time transfer waiver, if they could play at a Division II or a lower level and they could transfer right away and play right away, then I could see kids going to different levels at the Division I level, put up numbers, and then transfer somewhere and play right away at the high level. So
Duncan Robinson. Robinson did that.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be with the one-time transfer waiver where you could transfer and play right away. You never know what people plan is. But it's going to be a lot different than there's ever been.
But coach, what if you transfer and play right away to wait a minute, transfer to play right away and you don't beat that guy out?
I think that's on you. I mean, I think if you're gonna transfer and play right away, you got to do your homework.
Okay, Coach. I had to ask that, Coach. That's a great point. It's gonna be on you.
Absolutely. And the thing is, they're also, and the one-time transfer is expected to be officially endorsed, officially passed in January. And once again, the class of 21, the class of 2022, what should some of the parents, is there a question or two that a parent can ask the college coach who's been recruiting their sons that's part of these two classes to find out and just cut through all the mess and find out if they're still planning to recruit their son or they're just playing around with them, because some college coaches are going to recruit for themselves, thinking that they may be in a different position or different school the following year or the year, and a lot of times that happens. But this is a scary space that we are about to enter. We mean as a society, as a culture, as going into it, whereas these young people who've been recruited and some having offers. And I was told last week, AB, by one coach that they have a couple of offers on the table. And if one of those kids that couple of kids that committed, and they are really thinking about not sending a letter of intent when it's time to sign in 19 days.
Wow. See, Baylor don't do that. You see Coach said, wow. Jimmy, you see Coach said, wow. Baylor don't do stuff like that.
What? I understand. I'm not saying we're talking in general. But
No,
why would you say? Explain your wow to that.
I just think if you take a kid commitment, you have to do what's right and honor that commitment. To me, a commitment is like, a commitment. If you're not going to take the commitment, let the kid know up front. But don't that's like engage. A commitment is like getting engaged.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the letter of intent is like getting married.
Okay.
And so if you don't, even if the kid commits and then it gets to a point where you're like, hey, this won't work out, let the kid know, but don't just not send a letter of intent. Like I wouldn't do that personally.
Oh, let him know, but it's the same thing, Coach. I'm breaking off the engagement.
Yeah, but I think you at least let them know. You give them the right to be able to know ahead of time, and then instead of them waiting.
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So that would be based on how the particular coach was raised. Because some people, when they break up with you, they just stop calling you.
Yeah.
Some people, when they break up with you, they just stop answering the phone. They just stop text messaging you back as fast. Some people they break up and say, hey, look, I'm busy. They become more busy when you call. Or they can't go out like they used to and be as available as they were. That's how some people break up.
Andy Fobb just had a great one. One of your Be Ready participant, he said, so an offer is like dating. Offer is like dating. Huh?
I guess you could say that. I think, one thing about offers, they expire. They got expiration dates on them.
Expiration dates. And you don't tell the parents, well, not all the time. You mean a lot of college coaches don't necessarily tell that prospect when that offer is about to expire tomorrow. And that's another thing. So the same thing.
That's really like dating, Coach. You can take you can take that date. You can stop dating anytime you want to. That's right. Hey, that's a good one, Bob. I like that one, baby. I agree with Bob.
You know what? It used to be like being engaged, but now since offers are coming so at the rate that they're going, then it's not more so like dating now. Like I can understand it now. It's changed, right?
Yeah, I think it changed. I've been coaching for 17 years, and it changed a lot. And I think social media has a lot to do with that.
Well, you've been coaching for a long time.
Yeah, long time. And
you ain't been 17 years old around there coaching for 17 years.
Indeed. And
so,
I mean,
I think I like
to land the plane with Coach. I know Coach got to go.
Okay, Coach. Go get the practice. Hey, tell my boy I said what's up.
Now, I want to ask you about the staff real quick. At the staff, and you guys, the men's basketball staff, and we'll factor in the supporting staff as well, the whole basketball coaching family.
Yeah.
At the cookout, who would win the free throw shooting contest? Who would win the crawfish eating contest? And who would win the domino contest.
So basically, you're asking which one of them are coming second in everything besides the crawfish contest.
That's my dude right there.
Boy, hey, Paul Mills say y'all lucky he going from over there right now.
I can't wait to talk to Tang. I can't wait to talk to Tang.
You can say the whole Drew family. It don't matter. Add them all.
That's good, Coach.
Hey, now I'm gonna narrow it down. We say beside the crawfish category, who could eat more crawfish? Kim Mulkey, Jerome Tang.
Ooh.
All you can eat. All you can eat. Who goes through?
I don't know. You know, Coach Tang love. I don't know, because Coach Mulkey's from Louisiana, and then Coach Tang love going to recruit Louisiana just to eat food. So that'll be an interesting one. That'll be an interesting one. I'd like to see that one.
And of course, people on the boom boom room, they're saying Kim Mulkey all day. Nobody's taking Tang's side. I don't know, man. Hey, don't let Tang slim the figure fool you. He eats the things like a termite. But anyway, guys, hey, we definitely appreciate
to recruit.
Look who's talking.
Look
who's talking, Jimmy.
I see a question say,
okay.
I don't, about college coaches, doing their fair share of lying. I mean, I just think that's people in general. I don't know if you could just say college coaches. You can't put everybody in the same boat. I think any kind of business is going to be people that do it the right way. It's going to be people that do it the wrong way. And, I think that's with anything. You could substitute college coaches for attorneys, for accountants, for, whatever profession. Like, it's just, I think that's part of human nature. Some people do it the right way, some people don't.
I like that, Coach. But Coach, I wasn't gonna even answer that question. I'm glad it's up on the screen.
Yeah, I just I think we get a bad rap sometimes just because everybody put college coaches in the same boat. That's that's not whatever you do or whatever that's like when people say something bad about Houston, like I get offended because I'm like, man, everybody in Houston ain't like that,
Gotcha.
Like that.
and but the thing is, I guess that my thing is, shouldn't it be at a point whereas the lying or I guess from some coaches, as well as the believing and the lack of holding them accountable or asking the right questions or doing what you can do, at least to be able to weed through a lot of the stuff. I'm thinking that I'm trying my best to help raise the people's antenna on this side of the fence to be able to hold more coaches accountable and be able to test their integrity before. Now, understand, some situation is food. I mean, you're not going to be able to know until it's too late. But at least you can go and kick the tires, check the oil, check the radiator fluid. You can check all that stuff before you get in that car and drive off.
Yeah, I just give a little quick story. I college coaches that they probably lie, but a lot of times as a college coach, I get lied to, and I'm told, I remember me telling my college coach one time, I said, man, you lied to me when you recruited me. You lied to me. You told me we was gonna be doing this, we was gonna do that, do this. And he looked at me in my eyes and say, you lied to me. You told me you was gonna be in the gym all the time. You told me you was gonna be doing this. You told me you was gonna be doing that. And like I shut up because he right. And so I think a lot of times, college, people tell us, oh man, this kid a hard worker. He just gonna be in the gym. He gonna do this, and then they get on campus, and you call him like, hey, bro, he doing this. He's like, oh yeah, he does do that. He does do that. I'm like, well, why didn't you just tell me that front? So I think it go both ways. To where I think a lot of times we want to help. We want to help these kids, like be honest and allow the coaches to be able to actually help them.
So it's just a lot of half truths be told. A lot. Just they don't tell the whole truth. That's why in court. I don't know if y'all noticed that. That's why they said tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's why they said all of those things, because some people won't tell. They won't tell the whole truth. They just pay up a little piece of the truth. So,
I'm putting that in my pocket. I like that. I'm putting that in my pocket.
But also coming from the other side, Heather, that's why your good lawyer tell you just answer the question and nothing more. Also.
Oh yeah. But no, that's
that come also that's representation. Help weed you through that. And one of the questions that somebody had for you is that do you follow prospects on social media, and have social media actually been a deal breaker, something that somebody did or said caused them to cause you to cut off your pursuit of them?
Yeah, I follow any kid that I'm recruiting. I follow them on social media because at the end of the day, Baylor costs over $60,000 a year, and that's not including summer school. And so, and by us being in the Big 12 and on ESPN all the time, we have to have kids that's not going to embarrass us. And so, I've stopped recruiting kids because of what they put on social media. Because some kids they forget that they talking to the whole world and not just they homeboy. And so if they'll do that now, what if they the best player on our team and we about to play on Big Monday, and he up to 3 a.m. tweeting something crazy, and now it's gonna be on ESPN, and now we look like bad coaches and we not investing in our guys because of somebody's habits that they have from when they was young. So I definitely do that. And I'm actually the type of coach that, I follow probably too many people, because even the kids that choose other schools, I'm not the type of coach that unfollow people. I don't know why, but I know a lot of coaches, as soon as you commit somewhere else, they unfollow you. Like I personally don't do that. If I build a relationship with a kid, then I just, I still want to see them do well. Just if they competing against us, then don't do well that night. But yeah, I do.
Hey man, AB3 man, we appreciate
up,
we appreciate everything, man. Thanks a bunch for chopping it up with us on the Chop Shop on this Tuesday. Hey man, now how can they follow you again on social media, and how can they watch some of the previous and upcoming Be Ready podcasts?
I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all having me on. This is obviously huge, not just for our city, but huge for, our state and really everywhere, just because, being online, you can broadcast anywhere in the world.
That's right.
They can follow me at Coach_AB3. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and then my pops and I have a website, alvinbrooks.com. And so a lot of the Be Ready stuff is on there. And YouTube, Alvin Brooks III, and that's where all the Be Ready archives are. And they actually have some really good ones to help with just interviewing skills, even if you're not a coach. There's some really good ones about interviewing skills and planning. Some professors from Ole Miss did study on planning. And so if you big on practice planning, they have that. And then also, actually, we have a BeReadyFam.com. And so that's to pub all of the members that's doing great things in the Be Ready family. So if you go to BeReadyFam.com, you can go there also.
Lastly, you mentioned your father briefly earlier, and just mentioning the website indirectly, alvinbrooks.com. And that's the website. Before you take us home.
Now, I got a quick question, Coach. Coach, who is Dre? Drea.
Oh, that's my sister, Andrea.
Oh, okay. She said she'll see you later. Okay, I was just trying to find. She been saying things, and I was wondering who that was. Okay, I'm good. No. Just in case. Just in case Coach had a admirer. I was just making sure. I was gonna let.
Coach got a wife.
I was gonna tell. Come on, Jimmy. Come on now.
He got a wife with a knife.
No, Coach.
Yeah.
I figured it was somebody close to you, but keep going. And
I
what
want
you?
you to reflect on watching your dad as you grew up through the ranks and watching how he's still standing tall as part of a team, not just a team, but top 25 each of the past 3 seasons at University of Houston. And what does he mean to you?
Oh man, he mean the world to me. Just because he sacrificed so much. I mean, my pops had me when he was 20 years old as a junior at Lamar University, and having me, I didn't know this until he was inducted into the Hall of Fame this past year. But with him knowing me on the way, he actually motivated and changed his habits to where he became a Hall of Famer. And so he sacrificed, my dad coached in Texas basically his whole career because he wanted to be close to us. And he had other opportunities to leave, but he didn't because of us. And he got drafted by the Spurs, but really didn't pursue it because of us. And so by him sacrificing so much for me and my family, owe him the world because, I was born in Fifth Ward, born in the Kelly Courts. This Kelly Courts is the type of place to where, a lot of people didn't think that I would make it out. And so for him to sacrifice and kind of show me different things and show me that, I can make it, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for him. Who knows where I would be, to be honest.
And that's definitely well said. We appreciate it, guys. This is Al Brooks III, and with the assistant men's basketball coach at Baylor. And you can tell Coach A.B. Alvin Brooks Jr., his father, former Wheatley High School star, who is now inducted in the Hall of Fame at Lamar University and stands proud on the coaching staff at University of Houston, where he was the first black head coach in the history of that program. And I want to say the school of any sport, was it?
Yeah, any sport. Yeah, first African American coach of any sport.
A lot of people may have forgot that, but our job is to not let that candle go out, especially at least not right now. So once again, job well done, Alvin Brooks Jr. This, of course, Alvin Brooks III, and I can only imagine your dad giving you one of them good Kelly Court whoopings back in the day. I bet your dad. What did he do? What did he do? Did he do a racetrack or a belt? Or a switch? What kind of dad was he?
I was a great kid. I never had those problems.
Nah.
You never got no whooping.
Huh?
You never got no whooping?
He ain't gonna tell
you. Yeah, of course I got whoopings.
I said, what was your dad? What was his weapon of choice? A belt? A racetrack?
I was always afraid of my pops. It was my mom that used to tear me up. But my pops, I was always afraid of, so I ain't really do that to allow him to whip me.
Okay.
For some reason, I used to test my mom, and I don't know why, because she used to tear me up.
I like that. Mine too.
My mom whooped my ass with compounded interest. So by the time I get a whooping, I really didn't do nothing to get the whooping that I would get. And I never understood till she would let everything, she would just let it all compound. I messed up one time, she let it go. And I messed around one time, one time I watched Little Rascals. And I used to watch it every morning if I go to school. The Little Rascals was on by 6:30 in the morning. That was an episode of Little Rascals where the boy Alfalfa put a book in his pants.
Yep.
And they tried to whoop him, and the book was right there. I didn't know no better. I tried that on my mama, and she hit me and saw that book and hurt her hand. And boy, she made me get naked. Put that switch
You know what?
on my ass.
Hey,
Hey,
I like to tell you, gentlemen, this is therapy for me because I thought I had the most whoopingest mama on the planet. Because I used to be mad. I thought I had the worst. She'd whoop you with the switch. Anything she got in her hand, you're getting that house shoe. I don't know if y'all did y'all mama used to wear that little gold pointed house shoe? That gold point? The little gold, it's gold.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
pointed. My God. I done got hit with so many of them. Oh my goodness. And a throwing that shit. Oh yes. So I feel better, y'all. Y'all help me out a little bit. I feel a lot better.
Your mama was a child abuser.
Ooh wee. Oh, she been in that
turned out
penitentiary.
all right.
Yeah, she'd have been in that.
All right.
Oh, yes, that's right. She ain't never. Yeah, you're right. I did. Cause she. Let me tell you something. She would have been in that penitentiary. In these days, right now, my mama would have been straight locked up. I'm just jelly.
They can't get locked up unless you call on them. We just wasn't there. That wasn't
Jimmy,
even a thought back
the
then.
neighbors would have called.
Don't you call back then? You called your grandmama back then and tell them come get me.
Think
And
about
they
this,
caught
Al.
you doing that.
Al.
You got another whooping.
Think about this, Coach. When a woman tell you you can give your soul to God because your ass belong to me. When a woman tell you that, you know what you finna happen. I never forget that she used to tell me that.
Oh man. Hey man. Hey. And that of course that though Kevin Frankman, he got the house shoe as well. And of course Herb Baker, we know Herb Baker probably got hit with crustal wrenches. His old man was working on cars all the time. He probably got hit with everything. Tire iron. But anyway, guys, hey man, thanks so much, man. AB3 joining us today. Guys, don't forget tomorrow we got Ronnie Courtney is expected to join us tomorrow afternoon. And midway through the show is going to be one hell of a conversation with Hall of Fame head coach Ronnie Courtney. And of course, we're going to wrap up the week with another special guest as well. But meanwhile, we're going to slide down Dino's back and yabba do this thing on this Tuesday. We appreciate everybody for joining in. Make sure you share the show to your timelines, to your friends, to your hoop groups. Appreciate everybody out there. We got to wrap it on up, guys. Hey, tonight, Game 1, World Series. Tampa Bay Rays, baby.
Dodgers, baby.
You can't beat the Yankees and beat the Astros and fold against the Dodgers. You can't do that. We're gonna see how this thing rolls. Hey,
I'm like the king. Down. I'm like the king, LeBron James. LeBron saying, "Go Dodgers." We'll see y'all later. We out.
Peace. Chop shop.